Hey Coast Besties, it's Joel, and today I want to go over some of my favorites of 2025 so far because we're only like 4 months into the year and there are so many things that I want to share with you, so many things that I'm loving. I think it's a perfect way to catch up after I've been away. I hope you're all doing very well and looking after yourselves. If you've yet to grab that drink of water or beverage of your choice, please do so. Also, you must remain well hydrated and taken care of. Basically treat this as like a FaceTime call with your best friend, so I think it's going to be very fun. If you've yet to follow me on my other socials, I would highly recommend you go and do so because I post some extra content that you're not gonna see here. Also, feel free to join us over on the Cozy Kingdom Discord, where we've just celebrated 2 years of the server, which is absolutely wild. It's so amazing that I get to bring a community of people together, and just the memories we've had over these past 2 years has been absolutely phenomenal. And so if you want to be part of the action, come and join the Discord. It's absolutely amazing. Also, I stream on Twitch now. As of this moment, I'm currently doing co-working streams, which I'll talk a little bit about later, but I'm also streaming some games like South of Midnight, Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, The Sims, really just a wide variety of games, and it's so much fun over there. We're almost close to reaching 2.5k followers on Twitch, which is absolutely wild. And so if you want to join us for all of the cozy chaos over there, feel free to do so. And so if you're missing the fact I haven't been uploading as much on YouTube, I am quite active on Twitch, so feel free to join me over there as well. So like I said, today is going to be a recap of some of my favorite things. Books is going to take up a wide portion of it, but I wanted to share some other of my favorites as well. I've got some like fashion, lifestyle, and experiences, books that I've read, video games, TV shows, and some little bit of tech. And I'm just excited to be quite positive in this video and just speak about a bunch of amazing things because this year has been hard. I think reminding myself of my why, my what, and my how will really help. This video is just as useful for me as it is for you. Without further ado, let's get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is something that I can't actually show you because it's still healing, but I got a brand new thigh tattoo. It's on my right thigh. I absolutely am in love with it. I think it's absolutely stunning and amazing. The artist is amazing. I'll leave a link to his Instagram in the description. I'm so happy with it. It's kind of like a demonic Greek statue, and I think that's basically everything I needed. Not that a lot of people are going to see this tattoo. Maybe in the summer if I wear like quite short shorts, which I could do. I think tattoos should reflect the person you are on the inside, like tell a story about yourself. Like my tattoo here, which is the dragon tattoo. It shows that I'm like a reader. I'm obsessed with Studio Ghibli. I'm obsessed with folklore because of the dragon. And I think it just really shows like a bit of myself. I'm basically gonna be talking to Stu of like lifestyle favorites at the minute. So the second thing is a jumper that I got. I've really been obsessed with fashionable merch, with like artists, content creators, and like books being able to create merch that you can wear in real life and it be fashionable instead of just kind of looking a bit garish. And it's definitely inspiring future plans that I have. If I were ever to design merch or a merch collection, I would want it to be fashionable and also just have that kind of association with fictional fates, cozy kingdom, that kind of thing. I have like a few pieces here that I think kind of say really well what fashionable merch can be. So the very first thing is from Dochi. It's this alligator bites never heal jumper. It's in this stunning green, which I'm absolutely loving. I wore this as kind of like a dark academia outfit to an Immortal Dark event, which I chaired, which we'll get onto later. And I got so many compliments on it. And then I told people it was merch and they were like, huh? And then I had to tell Frida Abikeminde, the author of Ace of Spades, that it was sold out and that she couldn't get one, which was probably the most devastating thing I had to do so far this year. The other one, which I think is like a statement piece, but is also very hilarious, is from Paramore. So Paramore did a collaboration with like artists to design a new merch collection. And so I have Hayley Williams is Turning Your Children Gay, which I think is an absolutely hilarious t-shirt and I love wearing this. I wear it on like dog walks, I wore it on stream once. It's an absolutely iconic t-shirt and I think it's absolutely phenomenal. The next thing then is Bookish, and this is by the brothers Gwyn, who are John Gwyn's sons, who wrote The Shadow of the Gods, the Bloodsworn trilogy. They designed merch, and so of course I had to get Mother Orca as a jumper. It's really high quality, it's amazing, the softness on the inside is phenomenal, and plus I get to rep one of my favorite mothers in literature. I want to read more of John Gwyn's backlist this year, so I'm absolutely excited to continue with that. And one that I literally received today was this cap, which says Beautiful Short Loser. And this is basically from The Emperor of Gladness by Ocean Vuong, which is Ocean Vuong's new novel that's coming out in May. This cap is just iconic. I absolutely love it. I think it's amazing. I cannot wait to wear this all the time. And then I'm going to read the book and then I'm going to cry when I see this cap. So, you know, that's that. I'm obsessed with tote bags. I'm I'm obsessed with tote bags, and recently I supported a Kickstarter campaign to help Paper and Word open their very own fantasy bookshop in Wirral. And as part of that, I am getting my name put on the bookshop ceiling, which is absolutely amazing. And also, I got sent a tote bag. Now, I'm very, very passionate about bookshops in general, and when I can help people open new bookshops, I will try my hardest. I just find that the more bookshops there are, the more indie bookshops there are specifically, the more accessible literature becomes to a wide variety of people. And I think having these specialized bookshops as well is fantastically amazing. I was speaking about this on stream the other day. I don't think I would ever personally open a bookshop. Maybe I will one day, I don't know. I think my destiny is more so towards the author path, but I think helping other people achieve their dreams is something that I'm really, like, I would make a very good angel investor if I had the money. Anyways, as part of donating to the campaign, I got sent this massive tote bag from Paper and Word, and this is huge. This is a huge tote bag. I don't think I could explain how big it is when I can just like I literally put my head and two of my arms inside here. I currently use it to carry like a small food shop. If I go to like the corner shop to get some stuff, I can carry all of the stuff in this, which is absolutely amazing. Like, it's a really good shopper bag. Also would be very good for carrying a lot of books if you ever went for a bookshop crawl. It's quite sturdy, strong material, and the straps are quite nice as well. Hopefully they'll bring these to the bookshop when it opens, because I definitely think these will sell very well. And yeah, that's basically my tote bag review. The final piece of clothing that I wanted to share is this shirt that I recently got from Zara. It's like a blue shirt with white stripes. You may be thinking, why am I telling you about this? Well, I just love it. I've never been one to wear these kinds of like shirts. They feel very like white man business casual to me. And the only time I've actually worn something like this was borrowing Oliver's shirt to wear to a Sky Arts Awards discussion meeting. I saw this and was like, oh, I really like it. And then I wore it. And then I got a massive amount of compliments from not only people on stream, but people in real life as well. And I was like, oh, maybe I should wear these kinds of shirts more. Now I'm just thinking I can just wear these and make them look better than I've seen white straight men wear them. I'm very excited by this prospect. I definitely want to get one that I can crop and then wear that during the summer months, because I think that would be very nice. So basically, on that note, that is basically all of my clothing done. But for my next thing, I'm actually gonna let Sponsor Joel tell you what I've been obsessed with. Something new that I've also been doing and have been obsessed with is relearning French, as I learned in high school, and since turning 25, I kind of want to pick back up some of the languages that I learned when I was younger. And I've been learning through Lingoda, who have also very kindly sponsored today's video. Lingoda is an online language learning platform that provides interactive classes in 5 different languages: English, Spanish, Italian, German, and French, with over 2,200 highly qualified native level teachers, offering a flexible and personalized learning experience that allows you to study at your own pace. Classes are taught 24/7, and in 2023 there were over 240,000 students from at least 171 countries taking part in these sessions. As I've said, I'm studying French, and I just had my very first French class a couple of days ago, which was an introduction to the Lingoda course, and the class size ranges between 1 to 5 students. And it was such a great vibe between myself, the other students, and the teacher. I was taught some basic vocabulary, and I relearned how to introduce myself in French, such as Bonjour, je m'appelle Joa et je parle 3 langues, anglais, gallois, et un peu français. And what makes Lingoda special is that I'm able to get real-time feedback from qualified educators about things that I'm struggling with, such as my pronunciation, some bits of vocabulary, and I'm really able to get the most out of the lessons that I'm in. And so I'd highly recommend checking out Lingoda for yourself, and if you do, then you can use the link in my description. Scanning the QR code here or using my code fictional20 will let you get a discount on your first set of Lingoda classes. Happy language learning, and let's move on to the next thing I'm obsessed with. And then aside from that, I basically have like 2 experiences that I have been really loving lately. First of all is forest walks. So with Merlin, Oliver and I like to go for walks every single day to like different places, and one thing that I've really been loving, especially in this like warmer weather, is the forests. Being able to explore them, being able to like just surround myself in nature really makes me feel like I'm in a fantasy novel. I would just love to take like my free write, my notebook, or like my laptop and go to a forest and just write, because I feel like just being surrounded by trees and surrounded by nature really brings me a sense of calm and a sense of focus. And I don't know, there's just something about being in the forest and being surrounded by ultimate calm that just makes me feel happy. So that's one thing. And then the other thing has been co-working streams. So on Twitch, I host co-working streams, a cozy co-working cafe, where people basically can come in with their books or their tasks and basically read or work alongside me whilst I'm doing my own reading or working or whatever. And it's been a lot of fun. Like, there's chaos, there's so many fun experiences I've had through the co-working streams, and everyone's just been absolutely amazing. And so it's one of my favorite things lately, because I just feel like our community just comes together to just be chaotic and also be productive, and I just find it to be such a wholesome and amazing vibe, and yeah, I really love it. Now we move on to books, and I definitely have a lot to talk about in terms of books. So one of my favorite things that I've read so far this year has been the Mistborn trilogy by Brandon Sanderson. Now I won't go too much into detail about this because I will have a reading vlog coming out very soon about the Mistborn trilogy, but I just want to say here, like, this is definitely one of the best fantasy trilogies I've read. I think the way that Brandon Sanderson not only characterizes, world build, all of that good stuff, I just think he is an absolutely phenomenal author. The way that he's really able to make us feel for characters, just the twists and the turns, and every second you're just like, what? Huh? And like your brain is thinking and theorizing, like you'll come up with a theory and then it's either right or wrong. If it's right, you're screaming. If it's wrong, you're screaming. He writes so well, and it makes me really excited to check out Warbreaker, Elantris, the Stormlight Archives, everything else in the Cosmere. If you've yet to check out my series of Joel Reads the Cosmere on TikTok, Instagram, and also YouTube Shorts, I believe I've been uploading there, you definitely should. I should have the Hero of Ages one up soon. The reading experience of that is very chaotic because I did like go off the book for a minute and then come back on the book and then go off it again and then come back on the book. I think it just makes it into such a fun and interesting video. This is just a 10 out of 10 series. I'm gonna wait for the reading vlog to come out for you all to experience all of my like intricate thoughts and feelings about this series. So yeah. The next book that I then think is absolutely amazing is actually the book explorers haven't picked from November to January, and that is Blood Over Brighthaven by M.R. Wong. This is a dark academia book, and this is my first M.R. Wong book, and I definitely will be reading The Sword of Kaigen after this because holy moly, this is an absolutely amazing book. Like probably one of my favorite dark academia novels because it really nails the head on what dark academia is, what dark academia can be, and also just really presents knowledge and power and so many different themes so succinctly and powerfully at the same time. I think it's an absolute amazing book. This basically follows Sayona, who is the first woman to be accepted into this prestigious academy of mages, and essentially she uncovers a conspiracy that undoes everything she knows about magic, its origins, where it comes from, that kind of thing. Like it's basically this woman grappling with whether or not she chooses to do something with that knowledge or keep it hidden and just kind of keep the world the way it is. I think it's very interesting to see not only Sayona's position as a woman in this society of like male mages, but also then her position of privilege when it comes to another race of people. I really love the way Emma Wong examines privilege and prejudice in this book, and the way that different characters have semblances of privilege in one way and then prejudice in another way. I think it's absolutely phenomenal, and just the way this book ends as well, incredible. Yeah, I really love this. I think it's absolutely amazing. Sayona and Thomil as a pair was so interesting, and yeah, this is definitely a book that I really want to come back to at some point. And if you want to see the discussion of Blood Over Brighthaven, I did have it over on my Twitch. I really love this. It was incredible. The next book I then want to discuss is Immortal Dark by Tigges Germer, and this is the first book in a trilogy, I believe. And I had the pleasure of talking to Tigges Germer at the Waterstones Covent Garden event. What an amazing human being. Like, Tigges was so amazing to talk to, so amazing to just kind of like get to know and really pick her brain about certain things. And so basically, Immortal Dark is set in a world where vampires have essentially signed like a kind of covenant, and they can only feed on specific families. And in this case, Uxley University has 12 of those families, and Hidan Adane, who is our main character, is the heir to Adane House. And after some mysterious goings on and a sister that is missing, Hidan is set to inherit this house. However, Suzenyos, who is living in the house, wants to inherit it as a vampire. And so it's kind of the conflict between them, but also maybe a wider conspiracy that's going on. Hidan thinks that Suzenyos had something to do with his sister's disappearance. That's all I can really say without going into too much spoilers. I very much loved the relationship between Hidan and Suzenyos and the kind of like trickery and like back and forth they have throughout this book. The ending, oh, ho, 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 ho. My love of this book was only heightened, not only by the fact that I got to talk to Tigges Germer and really pick her brain about my favorite parts about this book, but also the fact that during an event with the publisher of Immortal Dark, me and my friend Coco, aka Cult of Books, won a vampire quiz and got to win this fairy edition of Immortal Dark. So I feel like this book really has some special memories for me. The next book that I then want to talk about is a graphic novel, but it also originally started as a webtoon, and that is Semantic Error. And I was very kindly sent this by the publisher Easy Press. And then after finishing this, I then went and bought the second volume to read because this is amazing. And so this basically follows Chu Sam-woo, who basically decides to report his classmates for not contributing to first project. However, Jung Jae-young then is failed for the entire year because he didn't contribute to this project for a variety of reasons, and then basically decides revenge against Chu Sang-woo for failing him essentially, and now they have to work on a game together, and it's so interesting. I think like this kind of like enemies to lovers thing is so, I eat it up every time, and at the end of this I was literally like, I need the second volume now. It's gay and I love it. I literally am going to be reading this very soon because I need to know what happens next. I really loved it and I think you will too. And again, a massive thank you to Easy Press for sending this to me. Okay, I've got 2 books that I'm also currently reading. So first of all, I do have the Book Explorers to have and pick for the months of March and April, which is Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. I will be making a vlog about this and going into probably more of like a video essay style, so it may take a bit longer for this vlog to come out, which I think is absolutely fine because I really want to delve into some theory and stuff with this book as well because it's so rich, and we will have the book club discussion. And this basically follows Haymitch's Hunger Games, which I think is such an interesting Hunger Games to take, and the things that Suzanne Collins is saying in this book I think is really, really complex and interesting. And then the other book that I'm also reading is On the Calculation of Volume, Volume 1 by Slovej Bal, translated by Barbara J. Haveland. And this is basically a Danish book that is on the shortlist for the International Booker Prize, but I was really interested in this because of the premise of this book, which is a woman that is trapped in the 18th of November, and she's never been able to go back to the 17th, and she's never been able to go forward to the 19th. It's always the 18th of November. She comes up to her 365th, 18th of November, and some things start to change. I was really excited to read something about a time loop because there's a novel idea that I have that explores time loops. I really am enjoying this. I also have volume 2, and so I think I'm going to move on to that after reading volume 1 because it's just such an intriguing book, and I can't wait to share more of my thoughts about it when I finish. And then we move on to all of the books that I want to read over the next like month, which is on my TBR. So we've already talked about Semantic Error and On the Calculation of Volume 2 because these are like sequels to books that I've read or currently reading that I think will be absolutely amazing and I would love to read. The next series that I then want to read is The Legendborn Cycle by Tracy Dion, which will be the series reading vlog that I'm focusing on in May, because I think it would be really amazing to finally get to this because I wanted to read these in March, but a lot of life stuff got in the way, and also I was judging the British Book Awards for Overall Book of the Year, so there was a few books that I had to read, so I wasn't really able to read Oathbound when it came out, but I'm really excited to now get to this series and really give it the attention and the care it deserves, because I definitely think there should be a series that's not only talked about more, not only advertised more, but also just deserves the most awards. I'm really excited to get to the series. I'm then also continuing my exploration through Emily Henry's backlist over the course of like the end of May and then throughout June as well, including the brand new Great Big Beautiful Life, because I definitely want to try and finish the Emily Henry Read and Rank series because I definitely started it and then just didn't get back to it. So that's going to be a priority to finish that series because I don't want to leave it like unfinished, and I definitely still have my rankings for the first 2 books, and so I think it'll be interesting to then like come back to it and then see how I feel. And then other than that, I do have a few books that I want to try and get to over the course of like May and June. So we have A Psalm for the Wild-Built by Becky Chambers, which has been recommended to me so much by everyone, so I can't wait to finally get to this. The River Has Roots by Malloy Mota was one of the co-writers for This Is How You Lose the Time War, and this is like a short novella by them, which I think is going to be so interesting, and I can't wait to get to this. The Manor of Dreams by Christina Lee, which is basically like lesbians in a manor house and an inheritance battle, which I think is going to be so interesting and rich, and there's ghosts. There's a lot of things about this book that I really love the sound of, and Christina Lee is also an amazing person, so I am really, really excited to read this. The Emperor of Gladness by Ocean Vuong. I am in love with this cover so much. I think like the typography and like the way this is presented, chef's kiss. I can't wait to read how beautifully devastating his writing is in this one, and I honestly think this could end up being one of my favorite novels of this year, so I cannot wait to read this and see what I think. I then also want to read Pan by Michael Clune. Essentially, I saw this book on Penguin Press's Instagram page, and then I basically asked them if they could send it to me because this book just sounds absolutely wild. And so this is essentially about a boy who believes the great god Pan is trapped within his body. And I don't really want to say more than that because I feel like it could give too much away, but I'm just excited to read this and basically figure out what the heck is going on. The next book that I then want to try and read is Nearly Departed by Lucas Oakley, which essentially has a character called Joel, which immediately makes this book 5 stars, you know? It's about Joel Foster, who's lost his girlfriend, and 3 years on, he's ready to move on. However, he then realizes he is actually haunted by the ghost of his ex-girlfriend. I'm really excited to see what happens in this book and to cry, to laugh, all of that good stuff. We then also have We Hex the Moon by Molly Hall Seeley, and I basically picked up this book because I read the premise, and it basically says, 4 friends about to go to college accidentally on purpose summon the moon from the night sky. Now it's turned up in one of their bedrooms as an angry, sarcastic, all-powerful young woman demanding they make amends. I don't think there's anything more than that I need to say, which shows how interesting this book is going to be. We then also have Among the Burning Flowers by Samantha Shannon, which is a very short prequel novel to The Prayer of the Orange Tree, which covers the fall of Iskelen. I think this is going to be an absolutely amazing book to read, and I think it's going to be a really good entry point into the Roots of Chaos series, but I can't wait to read it and see if my hypothesis rings true. And then the final book that I then want to try and read is Rose House by Katie Martine, who wrote A Memory Called Empire, which is actually one of my favorite sci-fi novels. And essentially this one is also a sci-fi novella, and it follows like a house that is also an artificial intelligence. And I just think it's gonna be so interesting to read about and see what happens in this book, because Katie Martine just writes so wonderfully, so succinctly. I just think it's gonna be really good. And so I'm really excited to read that. Next, I wanted to talk about some of the games that I've been obsessed with lately, because there are quite a few, and there are some that I'm looking forward to playing as well. The very first one is the new season of Overwatch 2. Now, I main Juno like anything else, but during seasons like 14 and 15, I decided to play Marvel Rivals because the game was new and I was really enjoying it, and plus I had more friends playing it. I very much only really play Overwatch now because it's just so much fun, and plus Juno's new mythic skin is so cute, and I'm just really enjoying it. Another game that I've been really obsessed with and I've been playing on stream is South of Midnight, which is basically a black southern gothic game that touches into folklore and uncovers family secrets, and it basically follows Hazel Flood, who after a natural disaster separates her and her mother, her quest to find her mother, and through the use of weaving, Hazel is able to heal the trauma of the citizens of Prospero and maybe or maybe not find her mother. We haven't finished the game yet, we're about to, and I'm so excited. This game has been so lovely to play so far. There have been some emotional moments, there have been some really funny moments, there have been moments where the music has just hit just right. I've just had such a fun time playing this on stream with everyone and experiencing the story, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how the story ends. There are twists, there are turns. I think if you're a fan of Legendborn by Tracy Dion, or like Southern Gothic, or just Gothic in general, I think you would really enjoy South of Midnight because it kind of has all of the qualities that really make Gothic great. And then the final game I've been obsessed with, and this was kind of basically like a surprise drop that happened, but it's The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. And as soon as they announced it, I literally screamed, bought the game, and streamed it because it's just so much fun. My character is currently called Gwaine the Grey Queen. Honestly, absolutely iconic. I think Oblivion I played some of as a kid, but I never really fully got into it, so I'm really experiencing the story properly for the first time, and it's just so much fun. I think the game itself, we'll see if it stands the test of time. There are definitely some quirks with the game, and the game itself, the story and everything like that, I'm really excited to experience. I just think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I think it's going to be absolutely amazing. Now I'm going to some games and consoles that I'm really looking forward to. The first one is the Nintendo Switch 2, which was unveiled. I don't know if I'm going to get it on launch, because 1, money, and also 2, I really love my Zelda Switch, and I think it's absolutely amazing and really serves me well. However, I do like the potential of playing up to 4K on a TV on the Nintendo Switch 2, and with the new Mario Kart game and just a bunch of things that are coming with the Nintendo Switch 2, it's really like convincing me to maybe buy it. I think the console's gonna be really nice, and I think it's gonna be great. Another game that I'm really looking forward to playing again is Minecraft. It's a funny one. Like, I played Minecraft a lot when I was a kid, and I didn't really go back to it, but now I'm really feeling the urge to play it again. And some people on the Cozy Kingdom Discord really want a Minecraft server for everyone, so I've been looking into that, and potentially we'll be having a Minecraft server soon, which I think will be very fun. But I think it's just a great way for everyone to like come together to build something. I think it's an idea that's existed since the start of the server, and now 2 years on, I think it's definitely a great way to give back to the community. So I think we should all beat the Ender Dragon together as a server. I think that could be very fun. And then the final game that I'm looking forward to doesn't come out until July, but it's Tales of the Shire, which is like a cozy Lord of the Rings Hobbit video game. And so I think that's all I really need to say about it. It looks absolutely incredible, phenomenal, stunning, and I'm definitely gonna be playing it on stream because I think obviously with us being readers, I think it absolutely makes sense for us to play it. And yeah, I just think it's gonna be such a fun time. And it was delayed because it was meant to come out, I believe, in March, but they delayed it to July. Hopefully it means we get a stronger game at launch, and hopefully everything runs smoothly and it's amazing. Now I want to move on to TVs. And so the very first show that I'm obsessed with is Severance, which is on Apple TV+. And I don't want to give too much away about the plot because I feel like it's very good if you go into the show blind. This basically takes place in an alternate world where the severance procedure exists. You can separate your work life from your personal life by having a chip embedded in your head. And so it's a way to basically cut the monotony out of your life. It's such an interesting and clever show. The way that it really plays with different like effects, different storylines and characters, and just everyone in that show acts so wonderfully. I've started listening to the Severance podcast, which basically goes behind the scenes of the show. I just love the show. I think it's absolutely amazing, and I think more people need to watch it. And so if you do have an Apple TV Plus subscription, you should definitely check out Severance. If you don't have one, there are definitely a lot of shows on Apple TV Plus that I think are absolutely amazing. Severance, Foundation, The Morning Show, Lessons in Chemistry, Murderbot. The next show that I then want to talk about is The Last of Us Season 2, which I actually got to go to the Season 2 premiere for, which was a whole amazing experience in and of itself. Absolutely incredible. This season, already, I haven't seen episode 3 yet, but I am really loving this show. I think it's absolutely phenomenal, absolutely amazing. Pedro Pascal, Bella Ramsey really play Joel and Ellie so well, and as someone who's played the video games, it's absolutely incredible to see like things reflected in the TV show. There are some things that have also changed from the games, which I can see why they've done so. I think the show is so good, and I think it really delivers on a lot of the key points and key beats of The Last of Us, and I can't wait to see how the rest of this season goes along. The next show that I then want to talk about is a Korean drama called Love in Contract, which stars one of my favorite Korean actors, Park Min-young, and essentially it follows a woman who does like contract marriages with men in order for them to like escape like situations or impress friends. Like her best friend is gay, and so she marries him for a period of time in order for his family to be happy that he's like married a woman. I find the premise of the show so intriguing, and then when we get into like the romance of it all, where like one of them is like a famous actor who then realizes our main female lead is someone from his childhood, and then the other person who basically has hired her for like 5 years at this point, and they've been fake married for 5 years. The dynamics between all of them is so intriguing, and I think this show just like delivers so well on multiple fronts. And so if you're looking for a good Korean drama to watch, Love in Contract is definitely one of them. I believe it's on Netflix, so if you want to go watch it, you can definitely go watch it on there. And then the show that I've been looking forward to so much is the Murderbot TV show, which is coming to Apple TV Plus. I haven't seen the trailer yet, just because I want to go into the show blind, and I definitely think doing like reactions or like discussions on like short form would be great, or like doing a video like on like a long form video about it would be really great as well. I read the entire series in January. It's absolutely amazing, and I really cannot wait for this adaptation. I think it's gonna be absolutely phenomenal. I've seen some photos so far. The photos I've seen have been amazing. I think Alexander Skarsgård is gonna do so well as the titular character. I just can't wait. I cannot wait to see how all these characters from the books are gonna come to life, and I think it's just gonna be wild. And I can't wait to see Sanctuary Moon. I don't know how they're gonna pace the show in terms of the novellas as well. And so Murderbot releases on the 16th of May 2025 on Apple TV Plus, and you know I will be tuning in. You know I will be locked in and watching it. And so yeah, I'm very excited, and I think it's gonna be absolutely amazing. But yeah, I guess we'll see. But now I want to talk about some like techie bits that I'm really loving. So the first thing is my microphone. So this was very kindly sent to me by Elgato, because I'm now an Elgato ambassador, which is very exciting. And this is the Elgato Wave DX, which is an XLR microphone. I've absolutely loved it. It's been such an upgrade on my streams. Everyone has remarked about how crisp and clear I sound. Like I can do really cool voice effects, such as this. It is break time. It is break time. Hello, it is your cult leader speaking. I find that there are so many things I can do with this microphone, which means I can make the stream a whole new experience. Plus, it means that I could potentially use it in some videos in the future as well. The microphone's just great. I really like it. So the next thing that I'm really obsessed with is this. This has been an investment, and I haven't used it for vlogs yet, but I will be using it in the future. But this essentially is the Digi Osmo Pocket 3, and I've seen so many people use this camera. Let's see if I can get it to say hello. Say hello to Digi. Say hello. This is basically the Digi Osmo Pocket. It's a mini vlog camera which records high quality, very high quality videos, and it's so small. I basically got it because I want to do more vlogs, like more weekly vlogs, more weekendy vlogs, but my phone dies if I film a bunch of clips. I wanted to have a dedicated device for all of that footage so that I didn't like feel the need to trudge through my phone for everything. I could just have it in one place. Also, it's good for like vlogging in public places. So for example, if I want to go to a bookshop, I feel like like this device would be much nicer to have than my phone just kind of filming everything. And plus the camera tracks me, so if I move around somewhere or if I go somewhere, the camera will follow me, and so I don't have to worry about going out of frame if the shot doesn't require me to be out of frame. It's an investment, don't get me wrong. This is quite expensive because I got the creator kit, but I think it will prove itself and it prove its worth with the short and long form videos that I create. So I'm really excited to use it, and I think it's going to be great. So the last thing I want to show you is something that I've been using for about over a year now, and I've been using it in my writing. I've been using it to do like creative work. I've been using it to write my like stories and like chapters and stuff, like outlines, and I really love it. And it is the Freewrite Traveler. So this was sent to me like in 2023, and I plan to do like a long-term review with it because I think it's probably better than just using it for like a week and then being like, here are all of my thoughts. This is definitely one of those devices that you grow with. So it's basically like a portable writing device. It has an e-ink screen, so when you write, it comes up on there. It's portable but lighter than a laptop, so if I just want to go write, I can just take this with me, and it's distraction free, so I don't need to think about pulling up Google. I can't access any social media on it. I can't watch videos on it. It's literally just me and writing, and I've absolutely loved it. I think it's one of the best ways that I've been getting back into like the flow of writing and being able to actually just focus on getting words done, because as someone who creates content on social media, it's so hard to kind of distance yourself from being online all the time, unless you have like some devices that don't allow that. So when I want to write, I usually typically end up either going in airplane mode or I write using my Freewrite, which has been absolutely amazing because when I connect to Wi-Fi, it syncs to Google Drive, it syncs to a software that keeps all of my backups up there. I've basically got like a blank slate at the minute for a new project that I'm working on, because now that I've finished a draft of my current project, I want to work on something else on my Freewrite. So it's kind of like I have different devices for different projects, which I think works for me personally. It's kind of like when you have different devices for like different books and stuff. But yeah, I've really been loving using the Freewrite. I won't lie, this is an expensive product, and the typing does take a bit of getting used to because the keyboard's not the exact same as like your regular keyboard. However, if you want to get serious about distraction-free writing and you have the money for it, then I would invest in one, because I definitely find that it's worth it. And again, a massive thank you to Freewrite for sending me this. And I'm glad I could finally give a mini review of it now before doing a kind of long-term review down the line. But one of the techie things that I'm looking forward to is releasing a new library Notion template. I started work on this in February, but then I took a couple months off, and now in May, I really want to finish it and get it ready so I can use it and also I can sell it. There is definitely a lot of work that goes into this Notion template. To give you a little bit of a sneak peek as to what's going in there, you can track your reading goals and challenges, and it will automatically update when you add your books. There will be a lot of statistics. You can track genre, theme, tropes. You can track authors, see which authors you've most read in a year. There's a series tracker. There is a lot of coding that's also going into this. I'm having to learn so much about Notion code, which it's a very interesting like learning thing for me. The academic in me is thriving, but I definitely want to get it done in May, ready to be released in like June, July time. And so thank you so much for watching today's video. It's really nice to be able to like sit down, chat, and for just letting me ramble. It's honestly so much fun to be able to just like talk about all of the things that I love and my favorite things lately. I just feel really inspired to just like create. And I just need to remember that sometimes it's just nice to sit in front of a camera and just talk. And once again, a massive thank you to Lingoda for sponsoring today's video. You can use the link in my description or use code fictional20 in order to get some money off your first set of classes. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you're new here, be sure to click that subscribe button so that you're notified whenever I upload next. Be sure to come join us over on the Cozy Kingdom Discord, as it's cozy chaos all day, every day, and it's honestly such a fun vibe and a fun time, and I think you would love it there. And if you want to talk to other people from our community, it's definitely the place to be. Or be sure to come check me out over on Twitch, where I live stream cozy co-working sessions, video games, and so much more. And plus, it's a great way to interact with me live. I'll have all my other socials in the description down below for you, so you can follow me on every single other platform. And on that note, I'm just really looking forward to whatever comes next, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I now fall into a golden era of creating content, but I guess we'll see. And so, I guess until the next time, bye besties.